Welcome to another DorkLair action figure review. Today I'm taking a look at the Mythic Legions Torgun Redfin of the House of the Noble Bear from the Wasteland wave. I've also reviewed Cassia and I reviewed the Argemedes, the big cyclops guy. So now we're on to our dwarven warrior here. He is an outcast, like many of the House of the Noble Bear. His family, his brother, King Bromden, actually went over to the Legion of Aerthir. So his homeland, Ironhold, is part of the bad guys, basically. It's pledged their allegiance to the bad guys, to the Legion of Aerthir. And now Torgun is hopefully one day going to reclaim Ironhold for the purposes of good. And so he does, as the clan suggests, have a noble purpose. So that's a pretty cool backstory for Torgun Redfin, who is very aptly named. He's got this awesome red mohawk just right there. Look at that thing. Incredible. So cool. This is a release I wasn't terribly, I was fairly indifferent about this guy when they first showed him. And I did go all in, so I ended up getting him. I might have passed on him if I didn't go all in, and I'm really glad I didn't, because this is actually a great character. Really, really cool piece. And so this is a really good one to add to the collection, and I highly recommend it. So let's get into this review. And a quick look at the packaging, standard Mythic Legions packaging. You've got Torgun Redfin on the side with his little bio right there. The back is still the same Advent of Decay figures. You got the logo on the side. Very collector friendly, very nice packaging, and pretty standard Mythic Legions packaging. All right, so starting off with the sculpt, paint, and details. First off, the most striking thing about this figure is that mohawk. Looks awesome. Very vibrant red, which kind of fits in with like the colors on the shield and stuff. So nice coloring scheme going on here. He's got a reddish piece down there as well, sort of a reddish brown. So a nice kind of color scheme. It's almost fiery red here. And being the brother of King Bromden, it makes sense that he's got a pretty massive beard going on with these braids, because Bromden's got a similar thing. And there's definitely like some similar sculpt work in the nose and the eyes, I think, that kind of show that he's his brother. So that's pretty cool. Great head sculpt. This is a fantastic piece right here. The body is your typical sort of unarmored, unclothed Mythic Legions 1.0 body. So the arms, the torso look really good. There's a little bit of shading. I don't really know that it's going to pick up too much on the camera, but there's some subtle shading and paint work there in the body to bring out the muscle tone. I love this body, and I'm hopefully going to pick up a couple extras on this in-stock wave of figures with this body so that I can make some custom barbarians with it. And then getting into like the dwarven parts, so like the place where they're able to make it shorter, like a dwarf, would be the gauntlet and the glove, and it's painted very nicely. And then they got the same gauntlet over here, very dwarf looking, very sort of blocky, and that kind of heavily smithed metal. And then you have the skirt, very bronze color going on here with some gold rivets, and the barbarian loincloth. It's got these leather straps. The fur is painted very nicely. There's a little bit of a black wash in there to bring out that sculpt. And then his legs. This is very similar, except for the colors. It's a very, this is the same kind of legs as the other dwarven armored pieces. So like Bromden has the same legs, just painted differently. And get a look at those there. So the legs are short as well. And so just all these parts kind of come together to give it this half sort of noble dwarven thing, and then this half sort of almost like barbaric dwarven thing going on, which is a really cool look to him. So he's a pretty cool looking figure. And really the highlight of this figure is that head sculpt with that mohawk. It's fantastic. And for comparisons, we're going to start it off with his wave mates from the Wasteland. We have Cassia on the right and Argemedes on the left. And then we have him next to his brother, King Bromden, and his new brother, I guess, Atlas the Conqueror. And getting him together with some true 2.0 figures, we have Ravana on the left and the Goblin Legion Builder on the right. And finally, so that you can see him with a couple other familiar lines, there's a movie realization Captain Phasma on the right and a Mezco 112 collective Lone Roach Gomez on the left. For accessories, he comes with this shield painted beautifully. I love the red and white there in that wood grain sculpt. And it's even painted on the inside. It's got the removable handle. Be very careful with those handles. I've seen some people break them because they can be pretty tight of a fit on that peg piece. He comes with the Dwarven Mace. Love this thing. It's very bronzy looking. It's got like a patina, nicely weathered. Fits really well in his hand. Good piece right there. That's my preferred weapon for him to be wielding. And then he comes with the sword. I like to have the sword stored on the harness that he also comes with. So that's a combo I like right there. Store the sword on his back, and then he's got the pauldrons here that are, I think they're pretty good. I've seen some better paintwork on the pauldrons, but it's pretty basic, but I still think they look good. I like to go with one pauldron on and one off because he does have only the one strap, so to kind of make it look like it's strapped on there. So I like the single pauldron look for Torgun. Finally, for articulation, the beard is obviously going to get in the way from having any sort of down-looking motion, but he can look up a little bit. He can knock his head side to side, spin it around, and so on. So there's, considering there's this massive beard, it's not too bad in terms of head articulation. The shoulder can swivel all the way around, and he can flex his arm up a little past 90 degrees, just slightly, and back down. There's a single jointed elbow that he can bend just about a little bit less than 90 degrees there. You can swivel at the forearm at the top of the gauntlet. You can swivel at the wrist, and then you can hinge his hand up and down and spin it around and kind of hinge it whatever direction you want. The waist is on a ball joint, so he can crunch forward and back quite a bit. Lots of movement. He can spin side to side, and he can rock side to side as well. So that's a sort of a rocking ball right there. His legs, he can kick forward quite a bit. They always have good hip articulation on these. Sometimes Mythic Legions get loose in the hips, but lately they've been pretty good. He can swivel at the top of the thigh. Single jointed knee can bend this far, so 90 degrees about. And then there is a swivel at the knee in addition to the one at the top of the thigh. He can point his feet down. He can point his feet up a little bit. He can rock his feet side to side. A lot of good movement there. And then they can spin around as well. So standard Mythic Legions 1.0 style articulation on him. Not the most amazing thing. Mythic Legions definitely not known for their advanced articulation, but there's enough to have fun with and get him into a lot of fun different poses. So yeah, I'm always pretty happy with the articulation for what it is on these bigger, bulkier figures. And that'll pretty much do it for my review. Thanks for watching. Be sure to check out my other videos, especially my recent video of the All-Stars 3 wave. If you're kind of new to Mythic Legions, right now is the best time to be jumping into Mythic Legions because that All-Stars wave is up for pre-order for the entire month of February. It's got figures from the very first wave, figures that have become incredibly hard to find. I went through the whole wave, a little bit of a guide to what's being released, and you can check out that video as well. So thanks for watching, and until next time, may the Force be with you.